And welcome back to my PowerPoint tutorials. Today I'm looking at the Slideshow tab. Before we start, can you go to New and choose a template for us? I've chose Business, so I'm going to choose anything, that would do. And select Create. Depends on the speed of your broadband, should download it pretty quick. Right, go to the Slideshow tab and we're ready to make a start. With the Slideshow option, you can either record it as a video and show it, you can show it online or show it in real time. It's entirely up to you. Before we start, come to the bottom. I want you to select on the first slide and left click Notes. This is where you add notes, speaker notes, so you know what to say within a lecture or meeting. So I'm going to add a few notes quickly. So add your notes there. Now click the notes again and it will close, so you can access your notes anytime. That becomes more relevant when you're in presenter mode. Go to beginning, select the first option, and this will now show you your PowerPoints from the first slide. There's a few ways we can navigate through it. Bottom left hand corner, you can use the arrows and navigate through that way. So as I go through each slide, or you can go back on your slides as well. Also, you've got annotation options, so you might want to use a laser pointer to point at facts or points, or you might want to add a pen, so you might just want to circle something important, or maybe do a sketch. Or you might want to highlight information, so I'm going to highlight that. And you decide actually you don't want none of that. We can erase all on the ink slide or just erase something you don't want, so left click and it gets rid of it for you. Also, you might want to see all your slides because you need to jump to specific slides. Use that option and you can jump to, for example, your graph on 10. And again, you can use your annotation options. So for example, laser pen to point at facts or even to a highlighter. But say you want to zoom in, we can do that as well. Click the option here, left click, and you see it highlights on the cursor as I move around. Say we want to zoom into vehicles and insurance, do a left click, and we've zoomed in. Hold the left button, you can then drag that around to parts of that slide that you want to zoom in as well. Do a right click, brings you back out again. Also the options here, you can last view a slide that you've looked at because you might have jumped from one slide to another and can't remember. Presenter view I'll show you in a second. That's when you're showing a slide, not viewing it. And screen. Got a few options in screen. For example, you might want to hide all your annotations or show your Windows taskbar at the bottom, or you just might want a black or white screen while you discuss something within that slide. Arrow options, again you can choose visible or hidden, automatic which is visible anyway, and you've got help files there showing you shortcuts and how to use the options as well, including ink laser pointer. So it's definitely worth using those shortcuts. Also, you can end the show. Just to let you know though, instead of coming down to the bottom left, if you right click in any slide, you've got those options there as well. So if I select see all slides, I can choose one quickly, right click. And it's just quicker than going to the bottom left hand corner. But again, the option's yours. But what I want to show you is presenter view. Click on that. This is what you see, not what the viewer sees. So here is the current slide, and you can see the time top left hand corner, how long the slide's been showing. This is your next slide in the list to the right, and any notes you've added will be here. So what I'm going to do is go to the first slide, click the option to show all slides and select the first slide. So I've got my main slide I'm looking at, first one in front of me. The next slide is to the right, and underneath is any notes I added, which I added earlier. Those notes are too small, I can use the uppercase option to see them clearly. I can jump between slides at the bottom here as well if I want, left and right. Also, I can again annotate using the option. So again, I want a pen and I might want to create a circle around something. I'll just annotate what we're looking at. Again, I can use the option here to see all slides. And I can zoom in with a left click here as well. And remember, once you're there, do a left click again, you can zoom in, right click to come out. Remember, you can right click on the slide within presenter view as well to access those options. Also, you can make a slide black. You might be discussing something so they don't want to see the slide currently. Or you can choose the option at the end we looked at before, where we can go back to view, we can go back to what the viewer sees and hide presenter view. Top left hand corner shows your taskbar at the bottom and your display settings. So if you've got multiple monitors, projections, you can use this option. They'll only show unless you've got more than one monitor. Then you've got end slideshow option there, where you can end it and come back out of it and click discard. So that's from beginning and from current slide. That's from beginning. Select from current slideshow, so if I click 3 and select that, it will then go from the third slide, and then you can navigate using the option I showed you earlier, back and forth, or right clicking and using next or previous. Click escape to come out. You might also have a presentation you want to show online. We'll enable that as well. Select slide 1 and select presentation online. Now I want to enable remote users to download my PowerPoints as well so they can use them. What this does is you need an actual Microsoft account, which you normally set up anyway and use OneDrive. So what I'll do is select connect, and then connect to the server online. Give that a little while. We can send those links to the people that you want to join your presentation online. If I select send an email, it will bring up my email client where I can add the information if I want there to the person, and click close. Or I can just copy the link and send it manually. But now I've copied that link, what I want to do, I'm going to actually put that into Google and access that link so I can access the presentation online. So I'm going to click start presentation. Now top left hand corner I've gone into presentation mode, can you see, which says present online. Now what I want to do is go open up Google and paste that link in there, Control V, and click the enter key. I'm hoping it should connect, it shouldn't take too long. And you see it's connected. Now I'm going to hold the left button and block that to the right and open up the online presentation. Now if I click through it, it's not going to do anything because I'm not actually showing the presentation yet, even though I'm in the right mode. So I'm going to click on the first one and select from beginning. Now I'm going to go through a couple of slides there. So let's say I'm on slide 3, project scope. Now if I come to the options here, you'll only have a laser pointer option, you won't be able to annotate, just to let you know on screen. Okay, so I'm going to click escape and have a look online for view that they will see. They will then see whatever slide you've got up, and then also see laser pointer that you were using. Also you can download the slides with the option here and download those slides that you can see, and you've got a help option there. Remember you do need a Microsoft account to use that. I'm going to maximise that. I can also show an online presentation from current slide using that option, and again click through it or click back. Next option is your primary monitor. Remember to choose the right monitor. I've only got the one monitor, but if you've got more than one monitor then you can use that option to add multiple monitors and use percentage view, which I showed you earlier. Also if you want, if I click on the first one, you can share your meeting notes. If I click on this with OneNote, if I click on it, you can access one of your notebooks and send it to it. So I'm going to select presentation, click the sub down menu and then click on new section and click OK, and then that will send my notes there, and that way I can build up my information for my PowerPoints online into my OneNote to organise later, and then I can type in my notes there if need be. Once you've started an online presentation, you might want to use the send invitation to people that didn't start at the beginning. So if I click on that, you've got the option to send that link either by email or copy link. When you finish, you can end the presentation by clicking end online presentation, and it goes back to the normal slideshow tab. Next is custom slideshow. Now you might want to customise what slides you look at or someone else looks at. So select new and choose 1, 4, 5, 7 and 8, and I'm going to add them to my list here. I can change the order by using the arrows up or choose the arrows down, and that's the order they'll be shown in. I can delete one I don't want using the X as well. So I can rename that edited slides and click OK. Now click show, and it will only show those edited slides that I chose. Again I can click through them and it only shows the ones that I selected, and click escape. If I actually go under custom slideshow, you can see where I've got it named edited slides. If I click custom shows again, I can decide where I want to edit it, because you might decide you want to add another one. You can by using the option here, or if I click OK, you might decide actually you want to remove it or do a new one, or even copy it, but I'm going to remove it and click close, and you can see it's now disappeared. We'll go back to slide 1. Next is set up slideshow. Now you can record your own slideshows presentations and not even be there, so you can pre-record them all, including times you want between each slide and visual annotation. So if we come to rehearse timings, You can rehearse how long it takes to do each slide, so it will time it for you as you go into the mode, so you can get that perfect. So it'll do it automatically for you. Good option, so you can just concentrate and get your content down and speaking what you need to. Let me show. I'm going to click on it and it opens up the first slide, top left hand corner. Numbers on the left are indicating that's the time of the slide that I've spent in it, and on the right will be overall time. So if I click here, left click, go to the next slide, you can see it's gone back to 0, but the overall time is still going up. And that way you can work out how much time you're going to spend in each slide and what you need to discuss. It's a good way to practice and rehearse it. And again, if I do another one there, click on it, and again it will go to slide 3. So overall time is 28 seconds and the current slide is 3. I can pause it with the pause button. I can click resume again to carry on recording. When I've finished, click the exit, and it will ask me, do I want to save the timings? Yes, I do. I've now saved them. So then I can go from beginning and try them out and see how the timings are and see if I've got them right. So it's a good way to practice. Now if I go to set up slideshow now and show you this, I'm just going to drag this to the right. These options are when you've pre-recorded your video. We've got a few options which I've listed on the left, what each one does, save me having to record and go through each one. The third option doesn't allow anyone to actually stop the video from running. So you choose the correct recording option you want there, but I'm going to leave it on percentage by speaker, so full screen. Underneath we've got loop continuously into escape, so that will keep playing PowerPoint until someone presses escape. So if I click it, that will show the options for me to loop continuously into escape. Show without narration, I can choose if I want, but I want narration and I want animation. Narration will be obviously your annotation you've added and any voice that you've added to each lecture slide. Animation will be you've added transitions, for example, objects to move within your PowerPoints in the animations tab before this tab. Disable hardware graphics, which I've selected because I've got a problem with my graphics card, so I don't want to use hardware graphics acceleration, but you might want to do that. That brings us back to the option up here. You can choose how many slides you want them to see. I might want, for example, slide 6 to 14, so you can choose what you want. So I'm going to do 1 to say 4. Manually, I'll use timings if present. Now I created timings earlier, didn't I, with rehearsal timings, so I'm going to leave that on timings. And then again you can choose your monitor. Again, I've only got the ones, so I'm going to leave it on automatic, and resolution I'm going to leave it on current. But you can change that if you've got a graphics card issue. And I want presenter view, so I can see that as a presenter, not as a viewer. Click OK. So now I've set that up as well. Before we go into the record slideshow, which I'm going to show you in a minute as well, you can hide slides you don't want. So I'm going to click on that one, click hide slide, and you can see how it dampens out with the light. Click on the next one and click hide slide. So that way, when I click from beginning, I'll do a right click this time, click next, and next again. It's only showing me those 2 slides, and click escape because it can't go no further because I've blocked them out. So if I click on them and select hide slide, it brings it back up again. So that way you can turn off slides you don't currently want to use in your presentation. Now let's go to record slideshow. Now we can choose our options here. When you record a slideshow, you might decide you want narrations, which is the speech, and also any colours that are added from your annotation. And I do want them. Do I want to use the timings? I can use the timings that I created earlier for each slide and show media controls. So now I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to click record slideshow, and I'm going to make sure at number 1, so click back, and we're ready to go. Top left hand corner is when you start recording your presentation. You can stop with the middle button. Once we finish, we can play it back. We can jump from slide to slide using this option left and right as you're speaking. And any notes, click on here, will be added here that you can see. And click to close it. You can actually clear any recordings of current slide or all slides that you've done. Again, we haven't done none yet. This is for your recording. Again, I've only got the microphone Logitech on there. I've got no cam, so that doesn't make much difference to me. Also, I can turn the mic off if I want, so there's no narration. Again, I've got no cam or camera there. At the bottom, we've got our colour options, so we can use a pen or highlighter to highlight stuff, and also the eraser to erase stuff out of there. and there's your colour options. And there's the slides we're using at the bottom, only one of 4, because that's what I chose in the recording options. So before we start recording, make sure your mic's on, because I want narration in. Click record on the first slide and it will start recording after it finishes the countdown. And here we go. So now you can start talking about your slide. And again, you can use your annotation options here to highlight stuff, or use the pen if you want to draw a diagram or something to explain what's going on. I don't think it's got anything to do with business project plan, but you kind of get the idea with that. Looks like someone smoked a cigarette. Yeah, it's still a mouth there, a bit of hair. It's got some mad hair going on. I better do another eye. Yeah, you see, my art skills are not very good. Now I'm going to click to the next slide. So remember, I'm recording all this as well, what I'm saying and any annotation I've added. And again, you can use the option to highlight information and discuss each slide. I'm going to do one more slide there, and again you can highlight information and do what you need to do. Now I can pause at the top or click stop. So I'm going to click stop, give it a little while to stop, and I'm going to go back to slide 1 and click play. Here we go. So now you can start talking about your slides, and again you can use your annotation and you can see how it's recorded each slide. So you can pre-plan your slides and record them till you've got them perfect, and then send them out or use them when you're not even there. So I'm going to click close. So that's now recorded, all ready to go. So how do I get that into a video to send? Well, no problem. Go to File and select the export option. Now we're going to select create video. Choose your presentation quality. Now obviously the better quality the longer it's going to take. So I'm going to do internet quality. And you can choose where you want the slide timers to use default duration set below. This option includes ink and laser pointer gestures. Or you can choose ones where you don't have any in them, where they're totally omitted. Or you can record timers and narration here. So you can have a look. So entirely up to you. So I'll come back out there. So I'm going to select record video. Choose where I'm going to save it to. Desktop. I'm going to leave it as business project plan. Click save. Now bottom right hand corner you can see it's creating that video for me. It can take anything from a minute to 2 minutes depending on how big your presentations are. Almost done. Let's have a look at the video. And here we go. So now you can start talking about your slides. And again you can use your annotation options here to highlight any annotation information and do what you need to jump through it. And there you go. That's how easy it is to create a presentation as a video format using PowerPoint. So you can see there's some really powerful options there. That brings us to the last option, which is your monitor again. And this is how you set up. So I wish I had 2 monitors because I could show you how I could set up one monitor as a viewer and one monitor as the presenter. But I've shown you both sections anyway. So remember, and here this will be as a viewer, and again presenter will be as. And remember presenter, so if I go to from beginning, and that will be as presenter. So see what a powerful option it is. Just to let you know before I leave you, at the bottom right hand corner, any audio you've got in there will be added manually to each slide where I spoke. So you can play it back, change the volume, or right click it, and even if you desire, you can click on it and click the delete key to get rid of it if you don't want that audio in there. I hope that's enough to get you up and running. Thanks for watching.